104.9 Coyote Country, ready for Fanboy Friday. And with me, as always, on the phone, checking in from Dallas, Texas, professional Q&A moderator and speaker, film critic at BigFanBoy.com, and the show director at the Dallas Comic Show. Please, one more time, let's give it up for Mr. Mark Walters. Good morning.
What is up, my man?
How you doing, man? Thanks for joining me this morning. Okay, real quick, let's talk about this. Dude, everything you said about Black Panther was so awesome. I finally saw it. Just amazing, amazing movie all the way around. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's really it very effectively sets up kind of the new phase of the Marvel universe, and it's just there's so much in there to like. It's one of those films too that I think, when I see Marvel movies, I mean, I always enjoy them for what they are, but it's very rare that I see one where I immediately want to go watch it again.
Yeah.
Black Panther was one of those movies. It's like I could have watched that 3 times in a row. I just thought it was so much fun.
It was just phenomenal in every single way. All right, so let's talk about this week. Today, starting in theaters, Death Wish, the new Bruce Willis remake, I guess. I know you haven't quite seen this one yet, but you did see some trailers. What's the inside on that? Have you heard anybody talking about it?
I sent one of my writers to cover it, and I haven't gotten their reviews actually coming in as I talk to you. But the things that I have heard about it from various news outlets and press outlets and advanced screenings that they've had is that audiences are really digging it. And I'm a little surprised by that, because I know that when the trailer originally premiered, it did not get a great reaction. But I think that the more time that people have had to think about it, and the fact that they actually pushed it back, because I think the original release was going to be fall of last year, and they decided to push it back and release it in March, which I think was actually a smart move, because March is kind of one of those months where there's really not a lot of stuff coming out. And also the thing that I think is helping it is that Bruce Willis is really getting out there to promote it. Like, he's not only been doing the talk show circuit, but like he's popped up at surprise screenings. Like, they'll have a screening of the movie, and he'll show up and sit in the audience and watch it with the audience.
Wow.
I think that he's definitely getting out there and pushing it, probably more so than he would even like a Die Hard movie at this point. So, and also just to kind of parlay that into some movie news, he was on. I'm trying to remember, it was Jimmy Fallon, I think, the other night, and there was a mention of a possible Die Hard 6, and he did tease that it's very much something that they're talking about right now. He's waiting to see a script. If he likes the script, then there may actually be a 6th Die Hard movie. So we'll see if that comes to fruition or not, too.
Well, yippee-ki-yay. Awesome, man. That would be great. And I'll tell you what, that gets back to kind of my whole thought on this, is that I saw the trailer. They've been showing it a lot on AMC, and I've been watching a lot of Walking Dead lately. But they keep showing the trailer. I'm not a real big fan of the trailer. It looks kind of like a B movie, just kind of low budget. Not great, but it's Bruce Willis in an action movie, and I'm always down for that. So I'm definitely going to go see that this weekend. I'm excited about it, actually.
I think sometimes we forget that Bruce Willis is in his 50s now, and so it's like one of those things where, I love seeing Bruce Willis in movies, but you always got to remind yourself he's not a young man. But if he does an action movie, the simple fact that he's doing an action movie is in and of itself kind of impressive. So if he can pull it off and have it be halfway convincing, more power to the guy, man. I mean, I'm just kind of glad to see him back on the big screen.
I'm always there to support the guy as well. All right, so the big release also this weekend is going to be Red Sparrow. I know you have screened this one already. Give us the insight on that, baby.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if Jennifer Lawrence was hoping for a hot new franchise to come out of this thing, I think that people are going to be quite surprised that it's not what you... First of all, it's not what you think it's going to be. I think that the way that they've presented it in the trailers and the way that they've been trying to sell the movie, it is, oh man, they're really trying to sell it like it's this tightly directed spy thriller. And even though it is a spy thriller, it's actually based on a series of books. I hate to say it, Robert, but it's just boring.
Oh.
I mean, it's actually surprisingly boring. First of all, the movie itself, the character that she plays, she's playing a Russian ballerina, which even Jennifer Lawrence herself laughed at when she talks about it on the talk show circuit. She's playing a Russian ballerina who gets a very bad injury, and because she can no longer be a ballerina, she enters a program to become a spy. And the way that they teach these people in this program on how to be a spy, it's kind of all about sex and sexual manipulation and basically being seductive and using sex as a weapon against your enemy and whatnot.
Huh.
So on top of the fact that there's not a lot of action in the movie, You've also got a lot of kind of uncomfortable sexual moments in the film that I wasn't really expecting when I went into this. I was kind of thinking this was going to be more of like a female James Bond type of movie or something, and it's really not that. So I think people are going to be surprised, probably in the negative on this. But what really hurts the film most of all is I think it's 2 hours and 22 minutes long.
Oh, no.
And, man, it feels every second of it. It is such a slow-moving film. There's very, very little action. There's only really one, what I would consider to be, like, intense fight scene in the movie, and that's towards the end. So if you can slog your way through to the end of the movie, you'll get one pretty intense fight scene. But that's about it. So I was very let down. And the most surprising part of that is that this comes from Francis Lawrence, who directed her in the Hunger Games movies. Mm-hmm. So obviously those two have, a previous relationship. There's a trust level there. You would think that with those two back together again, that they could deliver something really powerful and really awesome. And it's just the exact opposite of what you want it to be. So I was very let down, unfortunately. I wish I could say better things about it, but it just was kind of an exercise in tedium.
Well, that's interesting because we've been doing this for about 6 months, and that is easily the most scathing review you've ever given me on the radio here. So I'll tell you what, Jennifer Lawrence, for me, her work has kind of been waffly lately. You know what I mean? Just kind of hit and miss as far as just about everything she's done in the last couple of years. So I'm not surprised.
I'm trying to be polite about it, too, because, there are... I will say this. There are some redeeming qualities to the film. First of all, her performance in the movie, it's probably the most fearless performance that she's given in any film. She's very uninhibited in this film. A lot of times when we see her in movies, she's shied away from doing nudity and things like that. There's some pretty bold stuff in this film that she does not shy away from. She really kind of gives it her all. So, I admire her for the fact that she really did throw herself into the role and tried to make it everything she could. I think it's just a case of the script just isn't... Maybe on paper, when they read it, they thought that it was really awesome and really different, but the way it translates on the big screen, it just doesn't work very well. You do have a good cast. Jeremy Irons is in there. Joel Edgerton is in there. It's got a good cast of people, Charlotte Gainsbourg, but the movie itself is just kind of flat, and I think that a lot of fans of Jennifer Lawrence, this is probably the most, if I had to say there was one most disappointing quality to it, I think that the fans that love Jennifer Lawrence and Jennifer Lawrence movies are not going to like this movie, because I think they're going to go into it hoping that it's going to be kind of like another Hunger Games type of franchise, and that's totally not what this is.
Very interesting. Again, that's Red Sparrow in theaters today, rated R. So what else you got going on at BigFanBoy.com, sir?
Well, we're getting ready for the Oscars Sunday night, and we're actually doing a big Oscar watch party, although we can't legally call it that.
Right.
Sunday night at the Angelica and Mockingbird Station, as well as the historic Texas Theater in Oak Cliff, Texas. So if any of you guys are in the Dallas area, if you happen to be in the Dallas area this weekend, come join us. You can find out more info on that at BigFanBoy.com and get some information up on that. We just posted up, there was a trailer for Wreck-It Ralph 2. Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Awesome.
It's quite fun. Very, very excited about that film. I was a huge fan of the first one.
Are they going to have the entire original voice cast?
Yeah, it's gonna. Well, that's the cool thing about it. The voice cast is because you have the most of the original voice cast from the first movie, but they're also doing something which they've been keeping top secret, and it's actually very impressive that Disney is doing this. And I don't know if this is going to be more than just one scene in the movie. I would have to imagine it's probably like a sequence that happens in the film that maybe doesn't go past one sequence, but still. They have assembled all of the surviving Disney princesses, all the voices of the surviving Disney princesses. They're all going to be together in this movie. So you've got Ariel from The Little Mermaid, you've got Pocahontas from Pocahontas, you've got Mulan, like everybody, even the Tiana from Princess and the Frog, everybody's in this film. They're all going to make little cameo appearances in this film. So it should be really interesting to see a Disney animated movie that, but not cell animation, but like the new CGI animation, but that also incorporates the classic Disney princesses. So I'm kind of excited to see what they do with that.
So, yeah, that's really exciting. What else you got going? Oh, and you mentioned the Angelica, man. You just made me homesick for Dallas so bad because, man, what a great theater that is, and what a great, group of films that place always brings to town. Wow, cool.
It's a cool place to watch. It's a cool place to watch a movie, but it's also a great place to watch the big ceremony. So.
Yeah. All right, man. What else you got going on there at the website?
That's pretty much it for this week. Like I said, we're just kind of getting ready for the Oscars. We're going to be giving away a lot of fun stuff on Sunday night. You know, I'm going to be interested to see if our Oscar predictions hold up for this year. We've actually had a really good track record for the last few years. I've guessed about 90% right every year for like the last. I think there was only one year where I was a little more off than normal, and it was still like 80%. So I usually have I can do a pretty good call on what I think the Oscars are going to be. But you know, it's going to be an interesting year this year because there's a lot of really great possible Best Picture contenders, and I think that, you know, whoever ends up taking it, I think it'll be well deserved. I don't think there's going to be a case this year where it's going to be a movie where people are going to be like, well, that shouldn't have got it. I think just about every film that's nominated for Best Picture, you know, is absolutely worthy of Best Picture. So it'll be interesting to see who takes it home.
And again, you do have your predictions posted on BigFanBoy.com, right?
Yes, I sure do. You can find it there, and also if you click on the information about our Oscar party, there's a link within that, or you can just look on the page. If you scroll down, you'll see our predictions, and we've got a full list of all the nominees as well. So if you by chance you missed that and you want to kind of like start scoring at home and get a little bit of a preemptive strike going, you can look for that at BigFanBoy.com as well.
All right, man. Well, we're looking forward to seeing the big awards ceremony, and hope you guys have a fun time. Have a beer for me out there, all right?
I will, man.
All right, once again, let's give it up from Dallas, Texas, professional Q&A moderator and speaker, film critic at BigFanBoy.com, and the show director at the Dallas Comic Show. Once again, Mr. Mark Walters, thank you again, sir. Love you, man.
Thanks, Robert.
104.9 Coyote Country, ready for Fanboy Friday, and with me as always on the phone,